Blog Talk Radio.
Hi everyone, this is Camille from sunny California, and you're listening to the Coffee Chat with Camille show, which is a podcast series that interviews various guests about real-life topics for people who love to learn. Hi everyone, happy Thursday, that's right. You know what? Our topic today is how to have goals, grit, and greatness with Rebecca Whitman. Her bio that she wrote says, I am a successful mentor, graduate with honors from Princeton University, and author of international best-selling books, Phenomenal Feminine Entrepreneurs, Business Life Universe, and How to Make a Six-Figure Income Working Part-Time. I was selected as the Life Coach of the Year by International Association of Top Professionals. I host the Top 5% globally ranked Mountains Beautiful Abundant podcast. My philosophy divides life into 7 pillars of abundance, which include spiritual, physical, emotional, romantic, mental, social, and financial. I help people achieve balance within these 7 areas as they can experience more fun and freedom in life. In addition to my appearances as an expert on ABC, CBS, and I have spoken at Columbia University. Rebecca has spoken on multiple podcasts and has shared virtual stages with great thought leaders like Grant Cardone, Jack Canfield, and Les Brown. For you, the audience, our wonderful guest has left her link, a link for you, RebeccaElizabethWhitman.com. I think that is a website. If you are more of a listener than a reader, just click to listen to the Balanced, Beautiful, Abundant show. Okay, so let's go ahead and welcome Rebecca into the studio.
Thank you.
Hi, Rebecca.
Thank you so
welcome.
much for my quick. Hi, can you hear me well enough? Am I good with my earbuds?
I can hear you very good.
Great.
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome.
Perfect. Great. Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here so much. Sorry about that. All right, let's go ahead, please, and we're going to get into the interview. What are the 7
Wonderful.
pillars of abundance?
Sure. So this whole thing came about. I never thought I would be voted Life Coach of the Year because I moved to LA 22 years ago to become an actress, which was my childhood dream. And although I had small parts on big shows like Friends, CSI, and 24, I did not get a big break, and I ended up making my living working at children's acting schools, which I totally loved because I don't have kids. And I started studying the law of attraction. I studied with great spiritual teachers like Abraham Hicks, Michael Beckwith, Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, and I started getting really great results in my finances and in my health and even in my social life. But the one area of life that eluded me was my romance, and I had the habit of picking emotionally unavailable narcissistic men, and I ended up marrying one, and it was a very miserable, painful marriage, so I filed for divorce. And as my marriage was unraveling, my dad was dying. And in one of the last conversations I had with my dad, he asked me to write a book. So my dad was buried on a Wednesday. My divorce was finalized on a Friday. And I was sitting in my financial planner's office, and he told me I had become a millionaire. And he asked me, how did you do that the same year you lost your dad in your marriage? And I think you should write a book. So in the book, I looked at my life, and I realized that I was living life in 7 key areas, which I call the 7 pillars of abundance. They are spirituality, fitness, emotions, romance, mental, social, and financial. And when you have all 7 pillars of life in alignment, you are balanced, beautiful, and abundant.
Wow, that's great. How did you find your soulmate?
That was a very interesting story. So right after my divorce, my husband, I got divorced when I was 45, and my ex-husband said, oh, you live in LA, you're never going to find anyone at your age. And I was determined to prove him wrong. So I went on 5 internet dating sites, and I hired a matchmaker, and I went on a lot of dates, and I didn't find anybody that I liked. And I decided to go on a dating detox and just take a 90-day break from dating, thinking about men, talking about men. And 6 weeks into this dating detox, I was at a backyard barbecue, and I invited everyone at the backyard barbecue to my book launch party, which was the following weekend. And the only person from the backyard barbecue that showed up was Ben. And Ben bought a book, and he said, I would like you to sign the book on a dinner date. So I went on the dinner date, and we closed the restaurant down because we couldn't stop talking. And we have been together ever since. We actually got married on 12/21/21, so December 21st, 2021 at 12:21 p.m. I really like alignment, and we have had a really happy marriage. It's unlike any relationship I've ever had. It's just loving and harmonious, and I believe it or not, I'm knocking on wood, but we haven't had a fight yet. So it's really been a beautiful, beautiful journey to find my soulmate. And I actually reverse engineered it and looked at how do they do that. And now I teach women how to manifest their soulmate in midlife. And it's something that I love doing, and I've helped many women have a beautiful, loving relationship that they never thought they could have in midlife.
Excellent, excellent. What are the keys to being in shape?
I like to call the keys to being in shape H&M, not the discount clothing store, but the H&M stands for hydration. So you should be drinking half your weight in ounces of water. And I believe in drinking lemon water upon awakening because your body stores toxins while you sleep. And drinking lemon water first thing in the morning just flushes out your organs. You could add apple cider vinegar to the lemon water as well. A lot of people do that. And then just drinking half your weight in ounces of water throughout the day. So if you're 150 pounds, you should be drinking 75 ounces of water every single day. And I do not believe in soda, anything like that, diet or regular. Just water. I do add fun things to my water that have nutrients in them. So that's something else I believe in is supplementation. And I have a link tree that will have a link to some of the supplements I take. So the first H is hydration, the N is nutrition, which is supplements. And I'm a big believer in a liquid collagen that I found through an old friend of mine, and I swear by it. It's the fountain of youth. That's one of the supplements I take. I take liquid collagen. I take fish oil. I take a product called Juice Plus. I take a lot of different supplements, and I really, really think that supplements are important because our farmlands are depleted, and we couldn't possibly get the amount of minerals and nutrients we need just by eating fruits and vegetables. And they say we're supposed to be eating 9 to 12 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, and nobody has time to sit around and eat fruits and vegetables all day. It's too fast-paced. So I believe in supplementing. And the M is for movement. You know, move a muscle, change a thought. So I've never gone to the gym and regretted a workout. It changes your whole body because you get endorphins, serotonin, and dopamine. And I tell my clients to plan their day around their workout, body before business, and to find something you love to do so you'll keep doing it, even if it's walking, listening to an awesome show like this one. Just move. Just move. Do anything you can to move every single day. stretching is included in movement as well. I feel like stretching is so important. Yoga, stretching, anything to keep the body limber. And then another M is meditation. So when you just are still in your body and you relax and you meditate, you can find your inner peace. And I have a very active mind, so I have found that guided meditation is great for me. I love Insight's timer app. I love the Calm app, Unplug, YouTube videos. Any kind of guided meditation really helps me recalibrate my mind and stay centered during the day.
Thank you so much. Why should we keep our job and find a side hustle?
Well, a lot of coaches, especially business coaches, they teach people to quit your job, max out your credit cards, put yourself in a life or death, do or die situation because that's going to force you to be successful. And I've actually worked with people who did that, and they literally ended up in jail for bouncing checks, or they had to file bankruptcy. So I made a decision that I wasn't going to teach people to put themselves in survival mode. Rather, keep your job so you have your bills paid and you have your health insurance for you and your family, and launch a side hustle. So what are you passionate about? What do you love to talk about? What do people come to you for advice in? What have you been good at your whole life? What would you do to win the lottery if you won the lottery? Those are all questions to ask yourself. And I actually have a really cool free guide on my website, and it's Find Your Meaningful and Magnetic Purpose if you're not sure what your side hustle should be. So that is really important to do. You don't want to come from desperation when you're in business. You want to come from contribution. And when you are looking at a human being as just someone that you need to sell something to pay your bills, they're going to feel that and they're going to be repelled. Being in business is all about providing solutions and educating people. So having a side hustle can be so much fun and give your life so much meaning and passion.
Thank you, thank you. What is your definition of success?
Success is the amount of happiness that you feel. Why do we want the big house? Why do we want the new car? Why do we want the vacation? Why do we want the relationship? Because we think if I could only have this thing, then I'd be happy. So we are wanting to chase the little carrot at the end of the donkey, because we want happiness, But what if we just decided that happiness is a state of mind? It's not acquiring anything. That we get to choose to be happy, and then from the happiness, we can create the life of our dreams. People think it's have, do, be. If I have this, then if I have money, then I'll do all these cool things and then I'll be happy. But it's actually be, do, have. If I'm happy, then I'm going to act from happiness, and then I'll have all the things that I want. So I tell people that happiness is a decision. It's not an acquisition.
Thank you. Why people need a side hustle, or why do they need a side hustle?
Yeah, we talked about that. Well, you don't want to trade dollars for hours, because if you work a job, you are limited. You can only make so much money because there's so many hours in a day, there's so many weeks in a year, days in a week, and there's so many weeks in a year. So you are limited by time. You're trading dollars for hours. If you have a side hustle where you get paid on profit, then your earning potential becomes unlimited, and you can actually get paid based on the number of people that you serve, and it can be unlimited. I mean, if you look at an online business like Amazon, something like that, if it was just Jeffrey Bezos, where he started off selling books, then he would not have been able to explode Amazon. But because it was something that was based on profit, he is now the wealthiest person in the world. So it's important to work for profit, not just for your time. And time is your biggest asset, because money, you can make money, you can lose money, you can make it back again. The average millionaire, they say, goes broke 4 times. But time is something that we don't know how much of it we have left. And once we spend our time, we never get it back. So I encourage people to do something where they can have some time freedom, and that would be to create a 6-figure side hustle. I have a program called Create Your 6-Figure Side Hustle, and I'm so happy because I had Kendall graduate from my program, and she actually made $300,000 after my 8-week program. It sounds unbelievable. She sold a home. She won a lawsuit that was pending, and she's also a real estate agent. So I'm a big believer in not just a side hustle, but having multiple income streams.
Yes, thank you. Why is it that self-care is not selfish?
Self-care is how people, but especially women, we stay energized. So I think of our energy as a cup of tea. If we're constantly giving our energy to everyone else and nurturing and people-pleasing and taking care of everyone, then eventually our cup of tea is going to be empty. And we're going to feel burned out, depleted, exhausted, resentful, and eventually get sick. If you keep your cup full by self-care, you are giving from the overflow. So whatever self-care looks like to you, it could be a walk, it could be a bubble bath, it could be cleaning out a drawer, it could be reorganizing your closet, it could be exercise, it could be, if you have the money, mani-pedi, massage, facial, any of that. It could be just doing a yoga class. It could be anything that makes you feel good, just sitting still. That is the luxury in this day and age with how fast everything is moving. So prioritize your self-care. Another way to prioritize it is say no to things you do out of fear, obligation, and worry. If it's not lighting up for you, if it doesn't sound fun, then you don't have to do it. Because if you show up resentful and depleted because you're there out of obligation, you're not going to be your best self. You're not going to be of service, and you're not going to be any fun to be around. So if you show up, make sure it's something that you actually want to do.
Okay, excellent. How to magnetize your soulmate, 7 pillars of attraction.
Yeah, we talked about that. I'm not going to give away my whole course, but I'll give you a couple key steps, and that is you have to process and release your past and forgive everyone. If you're carrying bitterness and resentment and cynicism into the next relationship, it's just going to be another bad experience. And you have to look at your patterns. I don't care if it's with a coach, a therapist, a sponsor, and a 12-step, unless you're willing to really look at your patterns and see what went wrong, how can I learn from that, what is the old type of person that I was attracted to, why is that not what I want now, what were my old belief systems with regards to relationships. You really get to look at your patterns in your past, process and release it so that you create a blank page and you can repaint your new dream relationship. The other thing is to know what you want. How can you get what you want in a relationship if you don't even know what that is? So write down all the qualities that you want in your new partner. Not just how they look, but how do you want to feel when you're with them? And how do you want them to communicate and relate with you? And how do you want them to see the world? I wanted to attract someone that woke up in a good mood. And that's exactly what I have, and I wrote that down. Somebody who wakes up in a good mood. And my husband, Ben, he wakes up in a good mood, and that was important to me because I didn't want to have to deal with somebody who was like dragging through their morning. It's hard enough to wake up, let alone if somebody you wake up to is in a bad mood. So those are just some snippets of my course. And anybody who's listening to this, if you do want to manifest your soulmate, you can find the link tree that Camille's going to share, and you can schedule a complimentary coaching call, and we can talk more about exactly who you want to attract.
Yes, thank you. And for our last question, or for your last question, what are the importance of a morning practice?
It is so important. So the 7 pillars of abundance are in order of importance. It starts with spirituality and it ends with financial. Everybody thinks financial should come first. Everybody thinks I'll make a ton of money and then I'll have plenty of money to hire a personal trainer. I'll look really hot. Then I'll attract my soulmate. Then we will go on a spiritual retreat and socialize with other couples and work on our mindset, and then we'll be happy. But it's actually, in my personal experience, financial is the last piece of the puzzle to click into place. It all starts with a morning practice. And when I was 19 years old, I was at a 12-step meeting, and I met a woman named Janet. And Janet gave me this journal format that I have been using for 30 years. This journal has changed my life because it taught me how to turn my negative into positive. It taught me how to celebrate my wins. It taught me how to learn from other people that were winning. And it also has a gratitude list. It even has a surrender list because when I wake up, I have a lot of free-floating anxiety in my mind. And when I write it down on a surrender list, it gives me the freedom to be creative and happy and have a great day. So in my link tree, which Camille is going to share, I'm actually going to offer that to your audience as a gift. It's called my Abundance Journal. And my morning practice includes writing in my Abundance Journal, prayer, meditation, and then I go to the gym and work out. And having a morning routine is really, really important. And if you're not a morning person, you can do the Abundance Journal in the evening, and you can make your evening routine just as important. But for me, how I start off my day determines the type of day that I have, and this morning practice has just carried me through so many ups and downs in life. Losing a parent, divorce, losing soulmate, 2 soulmate dogs, and I've just been carried through with so much resilience because of my morning practice.
That's so wonderful. Thank you for this outstanding interview, and also for your compliments, your compliment in between. I appreciate that so much. And then lastly, may I ask you to leave with our audience any of your social media handles?
Of course. You can find me on Instagram, Clubhouse, Twitter, and Threads at Rebecca E. Whitman. That's RebeccaEWhitman. And then you can find my website, RebeccaElizabethWhitman.com. That's Elizabeth with a Z. And that's where you can get the free guide, Find Your Meaningful and Magnetic Purpose. You can also take a quiz there that shows you which of the 7 areas you're crushing and which of the 7 areas that you might be getting burned out in. So, I look forward to keeping in touch with all of you.
Thank you so much again, Rebecca, and bye for now.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Camille.
You're welcome. Bye. Okay, everyone. That was the amazing Rebecca Whitman. It was great because I was listening, and every answer is powerful, because especially for us women, again, who are middle-aged or really any age, but particularly middle-aged, because we can transition from our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and moving forward. So the goal, I think, is to be very successful and be very meaningfully happy. So in the beginning, it's all fun and games, and then you start realizing I need meaningful happiness, right? And so Rebecca can, as you listen, she's giving you some tools to use and to utilize in your life. And there's nothing I think there's nothing more important than people helping mentor other people and helping all of us to achieve balance in our lives. And Rebecca, again, has the tools. So please be sure to go to Rebecca. It's spelled with 2 C's, okay? So it's just your traditional Rebecca if you're here. REBECCA. Then Elizabeth, ELIZABETH. Whitman is spelled WHITMAN.com. All right, and so that ends our show on how to have goals, grit, and greatness with Rebecca Whitman, and hope you all have a magnificent week, okay? You can find a copy of this episode on coffeechatwithcamille.com, all right? And I think that's everything that I need to say. Again, enjoy your week, and I should have a few shows coming up, okay? Thank you, Rebecca. You're amazing, absolutely amazing. Thank you, our wonderful listeners. And also, don't forget that I'm on Spotify and Apple and any kind of streaming. If you hear music and they have podcasts, generally I'm right there, okay? So it's Coffee Chat with Camille. Thank you all so much again. Bye for now.